Jai Gurudev. There is a huge difference between where we are and where we can be. But how to go from where we are to where we can be is a big question. All of us have. So Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar ji has designed this very powerful program called the DSN program, which takes us from where we are to where we can be. There are numerous definitions of DSN. DSN as designed by Gurudev is called Divya Samajka Nirmaan. Some people say don't say no. Some people say do seva now. Some people say do sadhana now. Do something now. There are several aspects of the DSN program. This is a very beautiful opportunity we like to share how DSN program affects our different aspects of our life. I like to share this very beautiful story of where a group of sheep were grazing in a grazeland. A pregnant lioness attacked this flock, delivered a baby cub and died on the spot. This cub started growing in the environment of a sheep, started eating grass, started making sound like a sheep. This, for reference sake, we'll call this as lion sheep. Few years passed by. After some years, another lion attacked this flock, saw this lion sheep eating grass, making sound like a sheep. This lion went to the lion sheep and said, "You're not a lion, you're not a sheep, you're a lion." This lion sheep said, No, I am a sheep. Finally, the lion and the lion sheep went to a nearby pond. The lion and the lion sheep saw its reflection, realized that it is not a sheep, but it is a lion. But from so many years, it was leading life like a sheep. Similarly, even in our life, we have this tremendous potential of a lion, but we are operating our life from a sheep. How to go from here to here? How to wake up the sleeping giant, sleeping lion in us? DSN is the answer. To wake up the sleeping lion in us. In DSN program, we learn this very powerful technique called the Padma Sadhana. What is Padma? Padma means lotus. How is a lotus in the water? Even though it is in the muddy water, it has blossomed. Similarly, even in our life, problems, challenges, obstacles are inevitable. But the practice of Padma Sadhana makes us so strong that in spite of all the problems, we blossom like a flower. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, we all have to be like the leaves on the pond. That being in the pond, but the water doesn't touch the leaf. And second aspect, what we learn in the DSN program is DSN, don't say no, having that S mind, because S in the mind, the S reflects. No in the mind, no reflects. When I go to the job, when interview with the S mind, it starts happening by itself. When I have a S in the mind, the nature starts organizing itself to make it yes. When I have this confidence, when I have this yes mind, yes, I can do this business. When I have that confidence, when I start this new venture, new business, the nature starts organizing itself to make that business happen. So this S mind is a very powerful formula to achieve anything what we want in life. So many times we have seen a group of ants going straight in a line, and when you see this, when the ants going, these naughty kids, they block the path of the ant. What the ant does it stop? It takes a D route, again it continues with the journey, and the kid again stops the route, again the ant takes a D route, Till the ant reaches its destination, the ant talks only one language. Yes, I can do it. Yes, I can do it is the language of the life. No, I cannot is the language of the death. This is such a beautiful, powerful lesson for you and me. That when we operate our mind with yes mind, the nature organizes itself to make it happen. And as Guruji says, for success in any life, we require this I-pod, inner peace and outer dynamism. Sudarshan Kriya, what we have learned in our Part 1 program, gives us that inner peace. The DSN programs gives us that outer dynamism. And in any situation, I share this very powerful thing called MVS formula. Whether VS stands for situations, M stands for master, V stands for victim. Whether I am a victim of situation or whether I am a master of situation. If I am a victim of situation, then I get influenced by the situation. If I am a master of situation, then I start influencing the situation. So how to get the strength to be a master? DSN is the answer. So many people have taken their life to the next level because of the DSN program. There was this one participant called Poonam in Jalandhar DSN. After the DSN program, her confidence increased so much that after 1 month there was this mega basic course in Jalandhar. She single-handedly registered 400 people for that Art of Living Part 1 program which happened in Jalandhar. And finally, in that program, we had 1,600 people doing the Art of Living Part 1 program in Jalandhar, the biggest Art of Living course in Jalandhar. And in Pune, there was one lady who was suffering from a disease where she could not even walk 5 steps. Her hands and legs used to shiver. But whatever she could do, she was very sincere in what she was doing. She was very thorough in her participation, whatever she could do. After doing the DSN program, after continuing with sadhana, whatever she could do, she got a confidence, and after 2 months, she single-handedly organized a Part 1 program with 145 participants. So the DSN helps us to wake up the sleeping lion in us. There was one participant in Chandigarh. He was a young boy, 21, 22 years boy, who was going through some relationship. You all know what happens during that phase. He was going through some rough patch. Girlfriend dumped him. He was so depressed that he wanted to commit suicide. One day he decided that enough is enough. Today I am going to end my life. So whatever chemicals he had in the house, he started drinking. Suddenly he got a call from a local Art of Living teacher about a DSN program which I was supposed to take after 1 month. He thought, anyway I am going to commit suicide, why not postpone after a few days? And he had come to the DSN program. Intensive 3 days of intensive sadhana and seva gave a different dimension to the life. And the last day of the course he said, this 3 days has been like a new birth for me. It's like a rebirth. If I didn't get my calls from my friend, by now I would have died. So this 3 days has been like a rebirth for me. And 2007 I was conducting this DSN program in Hyderabad. There was this participant by name Gamba Nageshwar Rao. He is a trainer by profession. He trains the trainers. And he has traveled across the world conducting programs as well as attending so many programs. Once he has traveled from Hyderabad to Las Vegas to do a course with Stephen Covey. And he did this program in Hyderabad. In 3 days of program, he was so inspired. On the last day he said, out of all the programs I have done, no program like DSN and no teacher like Anand Rajendra. So such a big blessing to see that so many people across the globe are experiencing so much growth, so much happiness, so much freedom after this fantastic program. And there was a scientist from NASA, his name is Bill Hayden, who had done my DSN back in 2007 in Washington DC. After doing the DSN program, he experienced so much freedom, so much freedom. And the last day he said, whatever freedom I have experienced in last 3 days, never in my life, in last 50 years, I have experienced this kind of freedom. And there was this person, Jitu Bai in Mumbai, who was addicted to this drinking, all these habits. He was not able to leave all these habits. He was bound by all these habits. But after doing the DSN program, he took a commitment that come what may, I have to leave this habit. Whatever sankalpa we take in the DSN program, either for ourselves or for the society, Guruji's special blessings are there, and it happens so effortlessly. And he gave up this habit of drinking, smoking, and now he's doing so much wonderful seva for the whole society. And one recent experience, one of our very wonderful industrialists, his name is Mr. Rao from Pune. He wanted to take up some project which will help business angle also, plus which will help the lower strata, the farmers also. So after doing research, he thought of putting up a sugar factory, which was a huge investment. And he didn't have any background about sugar factory. But he thought if he take up this project, more than 10,000 farmers will be benefited because of this project. But he didn't have any idea. But he took the sankalpa with a yes mind. He started on the project. From the idea to the reality, in just matter of 1.5 years, the sugar factory was in production. And he was sharing, when in my last visit to Pune, he faced so many problems, challenges during the phase. But one thing what helped him was that the knowledge points of the DSN program helped him to solve so many practical problems what he was undergoing. And in our recently I was in Borivali, Mumbai. There was this participant, his name is Kishore, who has 4 factories in Ankleshwar. He is into this chemical business. He had this back problem, and doctors had told him the back problem was so severe that he could not even sit for 5-10 minutes. So he was so fed up with this problem. He went to doctor and said, please do some surgery so that I will be free from all this pain. And he went to Leelavati hospital in Mumbai. The doctor said, there is only 9% chance of being this operation as successful. 91% is failure. If the operation fails, one whole side you will be paralyzed. And the doctors gave him that this is your option whether to do whether you want to undergo the operation or not. So he said this risk, it's not worth taking. And he had come to one of my DSN program in Ankleshwar. He was very sincere in the participation. Whatever he could do, he was doing Padma Sadhana. And when I was in Mumbai recently, he had come to meet me on the last day of the course. He was so grateful, so joyful, so happy. He said, Anandji, because of the DSN program, my back pain, 95% of my back pain is healed. This is such a miracle. Even doctors don't believe what happened. So whether it is health problem, whether it is relationship problem, or whether it is new business, or whether we want to take our life to next level in any aspect of life, DSN is the answer. Again I say, there is a huge difference between where we are and to where we can be. So DSN is the solution to take our life from where we are to where we can be. I welcome all of you to take this beautiful opportunity to take our life to the next level. Jai Gurudev.